Hey, folks. Well, hello. Hello, hello, hello. If you're watching this later, then thank you so much for tuning in. A couple minutes late, but musicians and dancers tend to be late. So I'm going to adjust this brand new lighting thing I got going on because I look like a ghost. So let me just dim this a little bit. Maybe I just turn that one off. How's that? Kind of more pro lighting, but I'm going to dim it a little bit anyway. This is warmer. Yeah. All right, let's see. New technology. Dimming, 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 dimming. All right. Better. So I got this new ring light that all the cool kids are getting for the online broadcasts, and I think it's okay. I think it's all right. Still a bit washed out. Tell you, dim it some more. Because any more light is more light than last time. That's better. So let's see. What does my screen show me tonight? There's a kitty sleeping here. Hi, Batman. Yes, the cat sleeping in front of my monitor is named Batman. And yeah. So it is. Oh, hello. Hello, Sarah. Oh, you know what, Batman? You're not going to like this. I have to move you because Batman's body is totally blocking where I type things. Sorry, buddy. Here, I'll introduce you to Batman. Anyone watching this later is like, wow, is this ever going to be about anything? Of course, that depends on who calls in. But this is Batman, sleepy Batman. Him and his brother Severus live here, and he was so comfy, but he was there for like hours. So he should be okay in my lap or elsewhere. So welcome to the show, episode 2. Please like the channel this is on. I created a brand new YouTube channel for episode 2 and future episodes. And the only way anyone can ever watch it on their phone live is if I get 100 likes on the channel, because YouTube has made things more difficult and stupid. So, yes, so far this is mainly about kitties and lighting. But please like this YouTube channel, so that eventually I could, people can watch things on their phone that are happening live here. I have other YouTube channels. I will type one here in the chat feature, just in case anyone doesn't know me and is watching this and wants to see what I really do in the arts. So that there is my Swinger Bat channel for my my swing band and swing dancing and entertainment related stuff. And then I have one other one, which is for my folk rock band of years past. And that's there. Hi, Julie. Hey, Julie, if you want to call in today, I can put you on the speaker on my phone, and hopefully people can hear it. Don't see why they couldn't. Or that if you want to do a video chat via Facebook or FaceTime or whatever, I can just turn the phone towards the camera. But I think if people could hear me, they could hear my speakerphone. So yeah, if you feel like calling in and chatting about anything, please do. All right. Oh, right. There's a thing over there. There's a crowd thing. There's 4 people watching. I don't know if that includes me or not. Liking the video stream, the live video is appreciated. Liking the channel that this is on will get us towards potential phone viewing of future live streams. Thanks for tuning back in, Julie. Julie was here last week too. We are how many days away? 8? Today's a Monday, so yeah, 8 days away from election. So I'm going to talk some politics tonight because there's a cat in my lap and that has nothing to do with it. Because 8 days away from hopefully the orange buffoon Cheeto Nazi child man being voted out of office. The early turnout is Ari Fleischer was saying, Ari Berman was saying, oh dear God, Ari Berman, the good one, the good Ari, on MSNBC was saying that in the early turnout, there are more Democrats voting than Republicans, so that bodes well. In Texas, there are more Republicans voting than Democrats, so we can hope that some of those Republicans have seen the light and are voting not for Trump. I don't care who you're voting for as long as it's not Trump. Let's just not have anyone vote for Trump. Okay? Can we all agree on that? Great. We can save America now. And by save America, I mean expand the Supreme Court, because otherwise we're fucked. Yeah. Sarah says Amy Bitchy Ferret got confirmed, but that's what I said. Sarah's in the background. She said, I think that's what she meant to type was Amy Bitchy Ferret. She said Amy Phony Barrett. Oh yeah, she did a play on her name. I just glanced at it. Amy Phony Barrett is also good. Nice job, Sarah. Julie's still laughing about God trying your shoes. Am I completely out of the loop? Is this an inside joke? God trying, was that on Sarah's page? God tying your shoes. I like the idea of God tying Amy Phony Ferret's shoes so she trips and hits her head and goes to sleep for about 5 years. Same with everyone in the Trump administration. Where did this come from? Where did the God tying someone's shoes thing go? Is this something that it was going around the internet that I completely missed? Sarah, is that something that you shared? God is going to protect us from COVID. Oh, yeah. Oh, is this just the thing going around where like apparently like Christians think don't worry about it because God's going to just do everything for you and you don't have to make any efforts whatsoever? I think we talked about this last time. Did I bring up God tying your shoes? Was that my joke? Was that my joke in the first episode and I just don't remember? Is that what happened? Julie, tell me if that was my joke, because if it's my joke, I will gladly take credit for it and hang my head in shame for not remembering. Simultaneously, it'll look something like, oh yeah, I was hanging my head in shame while taking credit. Oh, it was my joke. When I have to do that in all sincerity, I hang my head in shame. That was so good. Does that work? Okay. I was hysterical. Well, this is called Alec on all of it. What does that mean? How many things is Alec on? I'm kidding. But you could take it that way. And theoretically, someone could interpret my behavior that way. It's happened before many, many, many times. You know, I play guitar and I once had probably a teenage girl like ask me if or just assume that I did coke. And I was like, no, I've never done coke. And she didn't believe me because like, she said, well, you have a long pinky nail. I was like, I play guitar. She just didn't believe me. It was weird. I mean, lots of people make assumptions, you know, about you in life, and you cure them of their assumptions if you care to. But to have someone really not believe you about kind of significant lifestyle assumption is interesting. It stuck with me. I was doing a Chardonnay. This is true. Episode 1 was Alec on Chardonnay. Episode 2 is Alec on bottled water. But I feel like I should have a drink. I should have something from the drink, right? Sarah just offered to make me something. Well, we just got ingredients for. Do you bring in the creme de menthe? Yes. There's a little bit left anyway. Can you make me a grasshopper? So a grasshopper is a vintage cocktail, and if you haven't had grasshopper, the grasshopper is amazing, and it is creamer. So we use coconut creamer because we're vegan. So coconut, I use French vanilla coconut creamer and creme de cacao and creme de menthe. And there's recipes. There's open everything. Oh, creamer? There might be a little bit left in one. So there are recipes that say do equal parts, but I recommend a little bit less mint because you won't taste the creme de cacao very much. It won't be very chocolatey if you put too much of the mint. So I say do equal parts creamer and creme de cacao, and then like half as much creme de menthe, and it's amazing. Super amazing. I still feel so bright and washed out. I'm going to lower my brand new amazing. Yeah, it's washed out. I'm going to lower my amazing light because any light more this week is more light. So I'm going to lower the amount of more light and just walk off camera like a real professional. Okay. I actually have some complexion now. I'm not completely washed out. A little shadowy though, so then it might get grainy. So let's go back up a notch. All right. I don't know what number I'm on now because it's not numbered, but I think we're there. I think it's as good as it's going to get. What have you been saying, my people? That girl was me. What girl? Oh. So the handmaid thing, yeah, we now have a handmaid. Or no, someone with a handmaid? We have someone who has a handmaid on the Supreme Court. Fuck! This country is just big fucking mess. Huge mess. Is there hope? Yes. There is hope because the next president, not being Trump, can expand the Supreme Court. And none of the Democrats, I watched Pelosi today. I think it was Chris Hayes trying to get Pelosi to even talk about whether she would be open to Congress expanding the Supreme Court. And she just completely talked around him. She was like, well, Biden has this, plan. So they're going to have the commission, and hopefully the commission does the right thing. And the obvious right thing, the right thing, the only same thing would be, expand the Supreme Court to at least 13, maybe 15, has to happen. That's this Biden commission to talk about it. It's supposed to go 180 days. Why would it take 6 months? Why would you subject the country to 6 months of a fucked up right-wing psycho-Nazi Supreme Court? There's a lot of damage a Supreme Court can do in 6 months. Maybe 6 months starts on election day, after election day, in which case there's still a lot of damage the Supreme Court can do in 4 months. So, yeah. Listen, come here. Do you guys want to meet Lissa, the Wonder Pup? Oh, she's on a mission apparently. Anyway, I think we're going to have to get really busy if Biden wins, demanding from our senators and congresspeople that they not do 180 days, that they just get their shit together and insist on expanding the Supreme Court. I mean, can you really pressure a president? I guess you can pressure a president by rallying, marching in the streets, making the news. But, I mean, the president has to appoint people. So I just don't feel like we have a lot of ways to really influence a president other than public actions. But if tons of people are besieging are just flooding their Congress and Senator representatives' offices with faxes and emails and phone calls and showing up in person when I say, hi, nice to meet you, do this, that should matter. And I feel like they're more accessible. The president is sort of like, it could clearly be any fucking schmuck, but once they're in the White House, it's like, oh, no one, social distance, but it's like 6 miles or 600 feet. Like, you just don't get access. Does he represent you? Maybe, but okay, thank you very much. But there's that. This is a graph. Clear creme to be connected. So creme de cacao doesn't need to be dark, and it's just not black and green, but. Smells amazing, tastes amazing. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah's a bartender tonight. Connecting. That's a bummer because you guys probably missed the best joke I've ever told. Well, I guess you'll just have the best joke I've ever told. Well, I guess you'll just have to settle for the second best joke at some point.
You told a joke.
I didn't tell a joke.
I'm like, you were funny.
So this is Alec on All of It, episode 2. And it really is not about what I'm smoking or drinking, but I am drinking. It's about topics, and it's really not just about my thoughts on topics. I want to know what you want to talk about. I did think of something. Oh, there's massive fires nearby. Rescued a client's cat today from a mandatory evacuation area. Not really near the fire, but in the area that they're evacuating people because embers can drift. So we have an extra cat, and the cat is hanging out in the puppy's big crate. So she has a little kind of studio apartment now. And she's going, what the fuck? Where am I? But she's a sweet cat. She's really sweet. She's just really... And the end. Are you still on, Sarah?
Oh, there you are. Wait, no, you're not.
Okay. YouTube is apparently... Let me know if you can get the... Are you getting the audio okay? You're probably getting the audio okay. I'm not on a cell phone. I'm on a webcam. Julie, if you're still there, will you playing in the street, etc. I missed the context on that. Playing in the street.
That's about the dog thing.
I talked about God tying people's shoes and playing in the playing on the freeway. Yeah, got it. Okay, it's coming back. It's coming back. Interrupted. Okay, you're back. Cool.
I mean, I'm on the chat, but I'm not getting video.
Not getting video. It says 2 people, so maybe it's just me and Julie. But I don't know if I'm included in that little number. Anyway,
Okay, no, I'm back.
Sarah's back in. Great. The funny thing is the timer keeps going even when it like puts me on hold or whatever. So I don't know. YouTube, internet, technology. So thank you. Cool. All good now. So I did have a couple people say they might call in. So if you're watching this and you feel like calling in, please call in. We can talk in front of everyone in the world, potentially, that has internet on a computer and not a mobile device. So yeah, so there's this fire going on. The smoke it's crazy windy today. The wind actually knocked. I have this like massive pot with an 8-foot tall pole, wooden pole, and like a tomato cage and like chicken wire and bird netting and barbed wire, all to keep out the rats, sitting on like 4 cinder blocks high, like pairs of cinder blocks. And I came home today and the wind had knocked it off. I don't know, last night, today, something. So I go to pick the thing up off the ground where it had like decapitated one of the branches of this beautiful sage plant. But the pot didn't break. The clay pot did not break. So I go to pick the thing up and I'm trying to be really careful because remember barbed wire. I'm like, why is my finger wet? So my hand's full of blood from the barbed wire. Now the barbed wire probably never did anything to the rats. They probably didn't keep a single rat out. They probably just kind of like, they're not that close together. No big deal. What an amateur. But I got myself with my own barbed wire. So, but I did. Why do I have this pot with an 8-foot pole? There's another thing in there. There's like a few green bean plants or pole bean plants. Hence the pole. They're called pole beans. Or green beans? I don't know if every pole bean is a green bean or if every green bean is a pole bean. But yeah, pole beans. Anyway, so I finally stopped having rats climb in there and demolish them. And hopefully that continues because now it's been rearranged. But it's been a while since I got cut by barbed wire. Maybe since I was a little kid. I had like a scar on each wrist from, I still have one, from being, and I used like the inside of my wrist and like melted some skin, but it totally got rid of the scar. So instead of 2 wrists with like, crucifixion marks, I just have 1 wrist with a little mark, a barb. Barb, she was such a bitch. Oh no, it was a piece of metal. Sorry, wrong barb. The wind blew our big glass patio table over and shot. Oh, geez, I'm sorry, Julie. Oh, connection choppy again. Well, hopefully it's okay now. Yeah, oh yeah. I didn't see this actually, but my neighbor told me that the fence between our houses, like all along the property line, fell over. So he propped it back up, and he's gonna do more with it. I'm sorry, Julie. That's a lot to clean up, man. Crazy wind. And the fire has grown like mad. We heard it was 2,000 acres this morning, and it was like 4,000 acres like 2 hours later. Like just in the space that we left home and come back home, it was amazing. And there's 7,000 plus now acres. Any containment, it sounds insane. And the evacuation area seems really big, like areas that are not near like brush and such. But I don't know if that's because the smoke is so thick they think you shouldn't breathe it, or which I would agree, or if it's like actual, like the embers could come this way because we may not get a handle on this. Don't know. But it does always seem every single year in California and other places, like there's not nearly enough resources. Like they could probably triple the fire departments and personnel, triple the fire departments and personnel and planes and helicopters to drop water and not fucking Phos-Chek. Do you know that red Phos-Chek stuff has like the same shit that's in Teflon? Like it's not in order. I think we're still pretty far from, I mean, the smoke could easily be totally swamping us, but the wind has been blowing it like towards Laguna, towards the ocean. I was outside watering my garden, and I was like, oh my God, that is so much smoke. But we're like, you know, 5-minute drive maximum from like the train of smoke going towards the ocean. Thank God not coming here, but who knows, the wind could change. We could get completely fogged in. We'll see. But we have our windows closed and I have the air filter running. But I mean, there's LA fires where like, it was like there was ash falling, there was smoke in the air for a while, for days. So who knows what's going to happen with this when the fire itself is probably, you know, 15 minutes by car from here. But we're fine. We're not in any danger of like, we're not like at the edge of, you know, the brush that's on fire at the other end. We're fine. But thank you everyone for asking and such. And Julie, I hope you guys down their houses, and I completely get that. And I'd probably do the same thing. Because again, we never have enough resources. And you see houses on TV burning with like firemen like not there or walking around like not putting the fire out sometimes. I mean, I've seen this on TV. And there's probably just not enough of them, or maybe they're on coffee break. I don't know. I mean, firemen are amazing. We need them. We need more of them. But there's not enough of them. And we need them. We need more of them. But there's not enough of them. And things have also come out like, oh yeah, they totally fucked up. You know, they made some poor choices at times. So if I was like not like surrounded by dry brush where I would just be completely barbecued, but there's just kind of, you know, some fire in the area, I'd probably stay home and hose down my house and the neighbor's house. And they did leave. Firefighters say don't do that. Today, and the smell of smoke was worse there. Yeah, I believe it's blowing that way. Not enough of them to begin with. So I think if anyone is actually, you might not even be able to outdrive if you're in like mountainous areas where like you can't drive fast because the road is like, you know, composed of like pieces of candy through the woods or something. So I'm not saying anyone should risk their lives at all, ever, when it comes to fires, but if I'm in a residential neighborhood, like urban, suburban, and there's fire in the area, I'm probably hosing my house down and hosing the fire down as needed. By the way, we did get an alert that there could be like power cuts. So if this just completely drops off, this broadcast goes poof, like for a while, then that's the power company, not me. My technology's okay. Let's see. What is Sarah saying? Where was it that they finally said that convicts who had been volunteer firemen in prison can apply to become firemen? I think that's California.
Was it?
I think that's California. Yeah. They pay those guys like $1 an hour, like if that, maybe less, to fight fires, and then they can't even apply to be firefighters. Maybe they can now because they're changing that, at least in California. But I mean, if someone's in jail and they're fighting fires, they should be paying them a lot more than $1 an hour. That should be like an initiative. That should be a proposition. We should have we have a lot of initiatives in California. There's so many this year. Well, we could have a new initiative that's like pay everyone fighting fires the same. Maybe not the same. At least pay them half as much as the professional firefighters, because they don't have the training. But they probably do have a lot of the same training. I mean, after they've done it a few times, but they may not be on par with professional firefighters, but they're out there doing the work. So I think we should have an initiative, a proposition on the ballot that says, I don't know what a firefighter makes. I'm sure their salary, not hourly. But let's say every prisoner who's out there fighting fires is getting $20 an hour. I mean, that'll add up to something. You know, they fight a few fires, and then when they're released from prison, they have a few bucks in their pocket. Money in their pocket versus literally a few bucks in their pocket. Anyway, cheers. Cheers to you. I toast you with my grasshopper. Oh, okay. Sarah has a question for me. Yes? Leave it, yeah. Keeps it from burning. 90 minutes in the oven.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on this.
Yeah. On a cookie sheet. On a cookie sheet. So my amazing friend Pam made us a casserole in a pumpkin. So it's like a raw pumpkin scooped out, filled with casserole that's being cooked, all vegan, amazingness. And you want to see it? This is, I don't know if my friend Pam's ever going to watch this, but she lives down the street and I love her. She's like family.
This is,
And my dear friend, our dear friend Pam made this. It is a pumpkin with vegan
Stuff in
casserole.
it.
It has vegan cheese in it. So you put it in the oven for like 90 minutes and it melts and it gets amazing. And the pumpkin cooks. And if you want to scoop any pumpkin into your spoonfuls, you can. And it's amazing. She also made an amazing apple crisp for us. So this is like Christmas in October. We got surprised by this amazing thing that she's made for us before. But we didn't think it was going to happen this year because it's 2020. It's a pandemic. And yeah, it's crazy. It's a very unusual time. But one of the best things that happened in 2020 is now the pumpkin casserole and the apple crisp. All vegan, all amazing. So we have 4 people watching. I don't know if that includes me or not, but thank you for tuning in. I'm getting so much stuff in the mail. I'm sure you guys are too. A lot of it I want to send back and, say, make them pay double postage if there's a way to do that, which there isn't. But, and then some of it's like, great. But there's so much propaganda. I mean, there's literally there are people literally sending lies in the mail. They're spending money on the materials, spending money on the postage, and sending lies. Prop 22, which is awful. Don't vote for it. Vote against it. It's evil. It's awful. Terrible. Prop 22 they've spent like $200 million on it. Okay, so that means Lyft, Uber, and DoorDash all together have spent over $50 million. $200 million total on Prop 22. So that they can get away from California regulating them. If they had paid their drivers a living wage, minimum wage, decently in any way, shape, or form from the get-go, would have been a little more expensive, but so what? That's okay. It really sucks that so many taxi drivers lost their income. But it would have been different too. It's all in the app, on the phone. Like, people still would have used it. Lyft and Uber and DoorDash, these companies would still make money. But instead of the top brass making millions and millions of dollars and the drivers making like $10 an hour minus gas, which is really what those jobs come out to, they could have had a fair plan in place. They could afford to have a fair plan in place. But instead, they've been screwing over their workers from day one. And now that California is like, hey, you know what? Yeah, we should maybe not have you screw over your workers anymore. You've had a nice run of years of screwing over your workers. But they're spending $200 million to say, no, let us do it our way, which of course will not be good enough. So no on 22. I guess we could talk about the propositions, but there's a lot of them. So I'm not going to do that unless anyone wants to talk about anything specific. I have posted on Facebook almost every day what I recommend for my local ballot, which is a lot of it is the same throughout California, but then there's local things that aren't. But feel free to check that out if anyone's curious. Wants any tips? I also put which groups are for and against that I found. I try and find out what progressive groups are backing, on which side of each proposition. And that's all there. You can find all that on my Facebook wall, personal Facebook wall. So if anyone wants to call in, you're more than welcome to. A couple of people have said that they might. We're at 32 minutes, half hour. Cheers. Ring, ring. Someone named Sarah Aisha 87 is saying ring, ring. So I'm going to answer that. I'll be right back. I have to answer this apparent phone call. Gee, I just can't find my phone. So I guess I'll just type hello. Hey, Julie, would you do me a favor? Would you please type the word wing like twice? Right, just type the word wing and then type it again. Send that. Just send wing, wing, and that's it. Thank you so much. Hello? I got that joke from a Spanish teacher in like sophomore year of high school, junior year of high school. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all night. I really will be here. I won't be on camera all night, but I'll be here all night. I live here. Yes. Hi. This is Melissa the puppy is licking my hand. Mm-mm. I even did it at Starbucks. I asked the barista to say the word wing twice, and he was like super like sketched and suspicious and like shy. And I was just like, just say wing twice. He went to it. So then the other guy comes over and I said, would you please say wing twice? So he finally does. He goes, wing, wing. And I go, hello, because you do that. Maybe not during COVID, because then they're going to be like, hey, you touched that banana, you have to pay for it. And you'd be like, but it's not organic. I don't want to eat your banana. They'll be like, but you touched it. In fact, you held it to your face. And you'd be like, yeah, but I'm wearing a mask. They'll be like, but we don't care. So it'll be like, $79 now for that banana. And you'll be like, wait, it's $79 for a banana? Why? And they'll be like, well, because we're an American corporation and our drinks are overpriced, or our bananas have to be overpriced. And you'll be like, oh shit. And then you hand them your Starbucks card, which has like $3.32 left on it, and then you run. And at the end of the day, they got $3.32, which could have bought them like 6 bananas probably. So it's fair. Banana goes in the garbage. You don't get a drink, but you had fun. And maybe you made them laugh. And if you didn't, you made yourself laugh. And that's important. That's really important. $79.50 for bananas? Wow. Things inflation, I guess. There's a theme for tonight. What check out the bottom of your glass. Ah, that's cute. Can you guys even see? Try not to. Oh yeah, you can totally see it. If I take a drink, you see it. So I seem like the biggest nerd in the world. I have Batman the cat snoozing in front of my monitor. I'm wearing a Batman shirt. Sarah gave me, unbeknownst to me, a glass with Batman on it. Groovy. All right. So there's one other thing I thought we could chat about. I'm so open to suggestions, input. Anything you guys might want to chat about, Sarah? There's a lot happening in the world. I love the ongoing every month something. For us locally now, it's who had wildfires in Orange County for October. I love that. I love an ongoing joke in a very ironic kind of way. I have a cool mask to show you. Sarah found these. This is a mask you can wear if you want to make people think about swing dancing. And it even says do-wah, 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 and many more. So that's cute, isn't it? It's kind of thin, so you can like wear it over another mask and glam it up. I got some new masks. Did I show you guys my new masks last time? I might have got them since then. I can't show you one because it's related to a costume. I have a mask that will totally shock you guys, really surprise you. Yep, big shocker. I like this one a lot. This is the first one I wore of my new collection. Can you read that? I hope this is. I don't know if this is coming out. It's not a mirror image, is it? I think it might be. Is that a mirror image? I don't have an Apple. Sarah, does this look right or is it backwards? I think it's right. I think it's normal. Okay, good.
It takes me a minute to respond because there's a delay on it.
Yeah, well, you can hear me in the room though.
Well, yeah, but I can't see it.
You know what? You should have your earphones on so you could see how the sound quality is.
I guess I could. But no, I don't have earbuds that plug in.
All right. Okay.
I'm saying for video, like if you want me to see something, it's gonna take a second after you say it or show it.
Yeah, I know. There's a delay on everything like this. All right, so Julie says yes. Oh yeah, you've seen the bananas that are $79.50. Oh, the masks. Yes. Okay, got it. The bigger delay is when I happen to look at the chat box and then I'm a little bit late and I don't know what you guys are talking about anymore. So, anything else happening in the world worth mentioning? I hope everyone is subscribed to emails from Brad Friedman and Greg Palast and also Lee Camp of Redacted Tonight. Really to stay informed on what's happening in the world, in the country, especially with political stuff and election stuff. It's important. They're some of the best sources of information. Let's talk about how sucky it is that Halloween is happening on a full moon and a set. So not only is Halloween parties, there are people that are having tacos or having setups outdoors, and kids can trick or treat if they want. I'm seeing that online. But my version of Halloween is usually a big house party. I've been doing that for many years. Once in a blue moon, I've gone to Hollywood for the whole outdoor thing, but house parties here with my friends are like my favorite thing for Halloween. I mean, there's honestly nothing better. Nothing I've ever done on Halloween compares with the fun that I have with my amazing friends and their friends who show up and have a costume party, and we have live music and we go crazy with the decorations, and it's wonderful, and it's not happening this year. So my thought was that we would have like an online Zoom sort of thing, like hang out for a little bit and people can show off their costumes, because you got to dress up. I mean, even if you're like literally in a cave and you're not going to see another single person for the next 5 years, but you find out it's Halloween, you dress up. You know, maybe you get some ash from the fire or from the torch and you paint your face in some way. You have to dress up for Halloween. Oh no, my friend Lisa's trying to join us and she says she can't. Okay, well, I'm going to tell her, you have to be on a computer, comma, not your phone. Let's see. If there's 4 people, and again, I don't know if that includes me. Well, here's what we could find out. If everyone who, besides Julie and Sarah and I, just type hello in the chat box. If you just type hello, then I'll know if that 4 viewers or 4 participants includes me or not. Because if 2 other people type hello and I don't, then I know it doesn't include me. I guess you could Google these things, but there's so many things to do in the world. Shall we show them one of our decorations? Oh, do you guys want to see one of our Halloween decorations? That's a very good idea. Air quality would not be good enough to do anything outside. Well, I mean, Halloween is, what, 5 days away? I'm sure the smoke won't be that bad by then.
Hopefully, but those LA ones last, I mean, the air quality was still on.
All right.
Okay.
So Sarah's bringing a Halloween decoration to share with you all.
Okay. This is the Wheel of Fate. Shall we ask it a question?
Yes, Sarah. Let's ask it a question.
Okay. What question would you like to ask it?
Let's ask it, will the fires be gone by tomorrow? Oh, it lights up and everything. Did you see? Do you see the demonic pumpkin eyes? That's really bright.
Happy times are ahead.
Happy times are ahead. But then there was like demonic laughter. So if you hear the phrase "happy times are ahead" spoken by a demonic voice,
Happy times for who?
right? Does that mean that's your fortune? You're gonna have some happy times, or does that mean the demons are gonna have some happy times? Hey, Lisa, you did it! You did it! You did it! Yay! Cool. What were you trying to get in on your phone? Did that solve the problem? Getting on the computer, Lisa? So glad you joined. There's probably like a slight delay, so well, great. So there's 5 people participating, and with Sarah, Julie, Lisa, and I is 4. So whoever out there is a mystery guest, and you may not be able to type. I don't know. Maybe not everyone has access to that. But thank you for joining us. Thanks for hanging out. So Lisa, couldn't get in on the laptop. I'm on the phone. Really? You're able to use your phone? Okay, I don't know what YouTube's doing, because YouTube said that until I have 100 likes on this channel, people couldn't use their phone, but you are using your phone. So great. Awesome. YouTube's weird, but good. Cool. So Lisa, as our newest guest, if you would like to call, well, you can. You're using your phone, so you can't call me. But, well, I guess you could. You could just log out and call me if you want to be on speaker and have a conversation, or on video. You could video call me via Facebook or FaceTime or whatever, and I could turn the phone towards the camera and we could be like hanging out in the 2020 kind of way. And people could also hear you. The FaceTime, you're funny. Lisa just got a new doggy. I want to see your new doggy. You got to send me a picture of your new doggy. Harry, right? Harry the doggy. I'm assuming he's also Harry. So it's a very, very descriptive name. So yes, Lisa, is there anything that you would like to discuss in our a little forum here? Because my vision for this is really that it be interactive. I mean, I can certainly ramble about lots of things for a long time, but my idea behind this, these episodes, is that we all have a chance to interact with each other and, converse, share ideas. Harry Potter, that's right. Harry Potter, Potter. That's so cute. Yes, but it's heavy. Hey, we can do heavy. I'm sitting here drinking a cocktail, holding up kitties, and Sarah's holding up toys, and we've definitely done light, so we can do heavy. Unless you mean the dog's heavy. I don't know. I don't think if you were talking about Harry, you wouldn't say it's heavy. You said he's heavy. Like if you're going to hold him up to the camera. But I can't see you anyway. So I think you meant topic. So you're probably typing now. You're probably typing about something really heavy. But great. We can have a discussion about something heavy with people typing and myself reading and yammering away. I hope you're typing, Lisa, because such a good one. So, what do you think, guys? Anyone out there? Anyone? Sarah, Julie? What's your take on that? It is definitely a necessary thing for a lot of people. Some people have just decided to kiss off acquaintances, maybe even friends who are Trumpers, because they just feel like I don't want Nazi sympathizers in my life, which I understand. But when there's people in your like closer circles, inner circles, then maybe you're not going to be as dismissive of them. But then maybe there's been arguments, and maybe there's been, really serious arguments, and maybe people have defriended each other, or just who knows. I think it's definitely worth attempting to talk about politics and anything important and moral and anything that affects all of us with anyone that you care about. I think it's important to try. That said, some of the lovely people in our lives may have been drinking certain kinds of Kool-Aid, and maybe right-wingers, Republicans, Trumpers, whatever, and not open to hearing the truth or changing. So then what do? You cut them off forever, or cut them off for a while, or keep trying, keep pissing them off, or just avoid the topic. And I think that sometimes it's okay to just avoid topics. If there's someone in your life that you mostly think is lovely, but has a few screws loose when it comes to politics and certain moral issues, depending on what those issues are. And when it comes to politics, I feel like for people that are really important to us, it may be worth just avoiding the topic. But anyway, the question from Lisa was, how do you mend relationships when it's over? So what are people saying? Sarah says, my only advice is that for the people you truly care about, you can't make politics the basis of your relationship. But I definitely empathize with having family members I care deeply about who are for Trump. It's hard to see them in the same light, for sure. And that's the thing. Like, you find out that someone that you care about, and you find out for the first time that maybe they're, a fan of some racist or sexist or, religious fanatic or greed-oriented ideology, ways of thinking. It's disappointing. And it's not that won't color your view of someone. Of course it does. But we also don't have to, necessarily go around just dismissing everyone from our life, or everyone who is not politically enlightened. I understand people that do. It's passionate. But I also understand people that don't. And I think I like this. I like this discussion. Cannot keep a relationship. Just don't talk politics. Yeah. You know, the whole thing about don't talk politics or religion, I've always just kind of my knee-jerk reaction to that has always been that's fucking bullshit. Like, talk about whatever you should be. If you're mature people, you're like intelligent people, you should be able to talk about whatever you want. But again, people who may otherwise be lovely and intelligent, whatever, may not have the wherewithal to have an adult conversation when it comes to politics. What are you going to do? Show up in greater numbers on voting days. What are you going to do? Hopefully. It's about so much more than politics, says Lisa. I know politics literally affect every part of our lives, and it sucks to not feel like we can discuss that with people we love. But not everyone is intelligent. I have a theory that people who are pro-Trump but are also intelligent are weak-minded. Yeah. Well, yeah. I think that's very likely true for a lot of people. There's also, maybe weak-minded is the umbrella that encompasses racism, sexism, greed, short-sightedness. I mean, it's incredibly short-sighted. When someone is like aware that, Trump is basically a criminal and like a mobster, but I'm going to vote for him anyway because I got a bigger tax code or whatever. I mean, there are people that I'm sure every single American knows someone that they care about or like, even if it's just like the barista at Starbucks, even if all the relatives are like millionaires, there's got to be someone in everyone's community that is negatively affected by Republican policies and by Trump policies, the Trump administration. And you have to care about your community. To vote for someone who's basically fucking over 99% of our country is just so incredibly selfish. And I don't know how people get to that point, but yeah, there's a short-sightedness there, maybe a weak-mindedness, a selfishness, a laziness to not think things out. Well, let's see. I like this aspect of this administration, but there's like everything else is really fucking evil, and basically the Nazis are coming. You got to look at the big picture, and I think a lot of people go la 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 vote, which is the worst fucking thing in the world. I wish they just wouldn't vote. Someone told me that they were against Trump, and then they said they were going to vote for him, and then they were, after some discussing, they kind of ended up saying, well, maybe I just won't vote. And I was like, yeah, no, you don't have to, because anyone not voting who would have voted for Trump is a win. It's one less vote for Trump. True, but politics is always about universal issues. Yeah, indeed. Now I know how my dad felt when he thought I was a commie. That's funny. Lisa, you crack me up. I wonder how our friends who are for Trump would feel watching this. Like, would Alec change some minds with his logical explanations? There's a theory that Trump-type supporters are followers of authoritarian rule. They need a daddy figure. That's good, Julie. That's good. Yeah, I mean, there are certainly I'm sure that applies to some, and then there are people who are just incredibly self-centered and just care about whatever this administration may have done for them. But yeah, I think trying to like put all of your like faith eggs in the basket of whoever happens to be the president is very, very rarely going to serve anyone. I think Biden has an incredibly shameful political career history. I think his agenda now is full of holes and some good things and some major lacking, disappointing things. But I hope he wins because Trump is evil. And Kamala, who will probably be our #1 candidate for president in 4 years. So I think Kamala's going to be a good presence because she's been an amazing senator. Yeah, if Liz Warren or Bernie had won in the primaries, especially 4 years ago, I could see having a lot of faith in my president. And yeah, I was not old enough to vote for him. Reagan was evil. HW was evil. Clinton was a major schmuck. And basically, both Clintons, basically their idea of how to win is to turn the Democratic Party into the Republican Party. So fuck them. I had hope with Obama. I don't know. I don't know. I should say trust, but I had a lot of hope the first time, and the second time I voted for him with a little bit of hope that maybe he'll finally get around to having a backbone and doing the things he said he was going to do. And yeah, not an Obama fan anymore. But not that I was ever a fan, but I believed him at one point. I had hope at one point, and I really like him campaigning. I really enjoy Obama campaigning for Biden. He's hilarious. He's smart. He's quick. He's savvy. He had a lot of drones dropping bombs on civilians. There's a lot of shit that Obama didn't fight for that he should have fought for, and a lot of stuff that he did that he shouldn't have done. Glad it wasn't Romney or McCain, but it's not like life was just dandy with Obama at the helm. I think with this massive turnout, it bodes well for non-Republicans in general. And like there's someone on TV today talking about someone from Texas saying that there's so much turnout that she's imagining that they pick up like 7, 8, or 9 congressional seats just from Texas. Like that'd be great. Like we already have Congress in the hands of not the Republicans. It'd be great to have an even bigger majority. And for God's sakes, like after the last 4 years, the whole world must be going like, obviously they're gonna have like no more Republicans in government, right? But the Senate has to flip. And the White House, obviously. Let's see. Mamala. That's cute. I have missed some chat things here. Faith eggs. Yeah. It's coming out in 2021, new Easter candy. Only Christians can eat them though. I'm kidding. So, or they are very rich or pro-life. Yeah, religious fanatics. I mean, I don't want to talk anyone out of their religion, but I'm so sick of religious fanatics trying to talk us into like having a theocracy. Because if you really want a theocracy, a country run by a religious agenda, then you should be okay with any kind of theocracy, right? So you'd be okay with a Muslim nation, right? Or a Buddhist nation? No. No Christian is ever going to agree to that. But they're okay with forcing their Christian or whatever, right-wing religious values and forcing them on other people, legislating them on other people, taking away women's rights and people's rights in general, gay rights, taking the rights away because of their religious agenda. But no one else's religious agenda should be considered. So these people that want to move away from separation of church and state don't understand that separation of church and state serves them too. Single issue voter is what kills us. Well, yeah. I mean, election fraud, rigged elections is really what has been killing us. But yeah, it's an issue. True, but Alec, as a black man, he had so much additional shit to deal with. I think he did what he could. Well, Lisa, you give Obama a lot of credit. You are very generous. I remember his entire administration having a Republican Senate that said no to everything, which sucks, and they're to blame for that. But I don't remember Obama going to the people at all during those 8 years and saying, hey, look what's going on. Vote these fuckers out. Call them. Camp out in their offices. They're stopping what you need me to do. Obama did a whole lot of like, well, let's be polite and considerate and patient. That doesn't work with neo-Nazis like McConnell. I mean, I would have liked to have seen Obama fight for Medicare for all, for like much stronger environmental policies, justice reform, immigration reform. I mean, so many things he should have fought for, and things that he tried to do but was blocked, but didn't really fight that hard. So, I mean, you want to like the guy. You just want to like Obama. You want to hang out with him. You want to have a beer with him. He's charismatic. But at the end of the day, he did some really awful things as president. Like, god awful. Like, there's dead people in foreign countries because of him, and civilians. And he was just a massive disappointment to me. I'm glad it wasn't Romney. I'm glad it wasn't McCain. But, I mean, I don't have many good things to say about Obama in terms of general adjectives. You know, he's a mixed bag. He was a mixed bag. I think he should be held accountable for the bad things he did, and celebrated for a few good things he did, but still disappointed that they weren't better. All right. If anyone wants to call and be on speaker, I'm okay with it. But I'm enjoying the typing thing too. So, Lisa, what is tell us, like, how would you answer your own question? How are you going to mend relationships with people that have been strained by current politics, the last 4 years of politics? Like, or have you had any success with this yet? I guess we're probably all waiting till after the election to even like try, right? Yeah, there's people that, having found out they're Trumpers, like, I've just disconnected from completely on Facebook, but they weren't like personal friends. There's people who are acquaintances that I know I will never try and talk politics with them, and I probably will not make any effort to interact with them. But I mean, my closer friends, like, none of them are Trumpers. But there are people related to people I care about, or friends with people I care about, or that I may run into professionally or socially, that I'm not going to pick fights with or disrespect them, but that I absolutely have lost respect for, and would always lose respect for, finding out that they support someone like Trump. I hate everyone. That's funny. I'm not hate everyone. That's great. Well, all right. I think we have some nice input here from you folks. Some relationships are irretrievably changed. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. If someone is, that what cracks me up though is how people are like so comfortable just broadcasting their Trumpiness. Like, in a world where like everyone knows that Trump is seen as, and actually is, but some people are in denial about this. But even the ones in denial about this, they know that Trump is seen as, widely seen as, like, the majority of humans on the earth that know who Trump is see him as a racist, a sexist, a liar, a traitor, a treasonous shithead that never even won an election. I mean, it was completely rigged. Not everyone knows that, but it's very easy to find out. Read some Brad Friedman, read some Greg Palast. He didn't win the Electoral College either fairly. I mean, taking a few states by a few thousand votes when hundreds of thousands of people were not allowed to vote at all, or were given broken voting machines. I mean, never elected, honestly, not even Electoral College wise. But everyone knows. Everyone knows. And the people that like will drive a truck with a Trump flag on it, or put Trump signs in front of their houses, or have a Trump mask on, I see that stuff and I just see a swastika. I literally just equate that shit with the swastika. I'm like, why would you broadcast that? Like, obviously, like, there have been, like, you know, the Nazis had collaborators. There have been people that would work with the fascists or whatever, because they thought they had something to gain from it on the sly. But the loud ones, the blatant Trumpers, just like, okay. And honestly, I'm grateful, because I know, I would like to know if there's someone on my block or multiple people in my neighborhood or whatever, or acquaintances, friends of friends, I would like to know. I'm happy to know, so I can avoid their asses. Their sorry, brainwashed asses. Thank you. Thanks for wearing a swastika, because I can avoid you now. I mean, that at the end of the day, that's how I see it. I mean, Orange County went blue in 2018. They are not the majority. The right wingers are not the majority. They are not the majority in America. They're not the majority in most states. Maybe any. I don't know. But they're not the majority, and they're not going to be. Their slice of power is shrinking. The Republican gerrymandering and all the election fraud that goes on has given them way more power than they should have. But people are turning 18 and voting. Minorities are voting. People are voting with more passion. People are using voting as a tool with more passion and more conviction against things like abusing women and abusing immigrants and abusing gay people and abusing transgender people and abusing the environment and abusing guns and abusing people via guns. There are people that are really participating. I mean, the numbers show that. And I'm so grateful. I'm so proud of the higher number of turnout that we're having, the participants in democracy that are trying. Because you have to overcome the election fraud. You have to show up in like, it's going to be rigged this much. Like, I mean, up and down the ticket at every level, they're rigging. They're not letting people vote. They're throwing votes away. But they hack the machines too. They change data. So they're going to rig it this much. You have to win by that much for anything, anything. Propositions, ballots. I mean, local candidates, national presidency. But if they're rigging it this much and people show up, that much, we can really overpower it. And the only way we're ever going to change the system is by having representatives that vote against their own financial interests, get money out of politics. And we have to redistrict. The census may be fucked, but hopefully it's good enough. We'll find out. We have to have things change. We have to have, basically, because we only have 2 parties functioning in DC, or I'd love to see more parties, but as far as DC goes, it's basically 2 parties. We have to have the Democrats, and progressives are winning primaries, which is great. We're going to have a better crop of Democrats. They have to have the majorities so that they can change things, so that the people can be more represented, so that we can have more democracy, so people's votes can be counted, so people can just live in the kind of country that we supposedly are all believing in, but a lot of people aren't, such as Trumpers. Because, working against voting makes you a fucking idiot and a traitor to your country if you're an American citizen. So all these people that are like, yeah, great, they're suppressing votes, that's just incredibly traitorous. They should all be, they should all have a banana stuffed down their throat and one at each nostril and not allowed to vote. Yes, the $79. No, they don't deserve the $79.50 banana. They deserve like the no, they deserve the very, very green hard banana that would feel really uncomfortable stuffed up a nostril. That also costs like 5 cents. So let's see. Julie is saying, thankfully, oh, okay. Lisa said that was a joke. Let's talk about when we can dance and sing. I live with one and I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers who love Trump. Yeah. Sarah says we can dance and sing now, but in front of people in person, yeah, not sure. Thankfully, my other 3 siblings despise Trump. Oh, that's good, Julie. I didn't know that. I didn't know that you had solidarity in your siblings. That's excellent. That's better than sibling rivalry. That's sibling solidarity. That should be a thing. Sibling solidarity. I think there was a band called Sibling Rivalry, wasn't there? Maybe not. Sibling solidarity. It's not that dramatic of a phrase, but I like it anyway. Probably not a good band name. It's like one of those things like, yeah, obviously you're in a band, there's some solidarity, you're collaborating and you're related. Yay. But it's just nice. It's nice. It's a positive thing.
The gag on that could be though.
Sarah, I can't hear you. Sarah's talking to me from the kitchen, which you won't be able to hear. What?
Is that true? Okay, so the gag on that would be, you have a band named Sibling Solidarity, so people think that obviously like you get along, like you said, duh. But then when you get on stage, you have a lot of like banter, like you don't get along.
Okay, so if there's irony involved, I guess it would have a little more kick to it. So, Sarah said, am I a horrible person for kind of loving that a Trump supporting home in your balloon caught fire today? No, they probably think that birds cause fires. For pro and for anti-Trump. What does that mean? What is for pro and for anti-Trump? Oh, siblings. Wait. There's 8 of you? You have 7 siblings, Julie? Dear God, that's amazing. What are you, Irish? Wow. Well, that's going to make for an interesting Thanksgiving. Do you ever all get together? Do you ever actually have like all 8 of you in the same room? And if you do, does anyone try to talk politics? And then what happens if they do? Oh, well, there you go. Yep, ex-Catholic Irish. So what happens if someone brings up politics and all 8 of you are together? And then there's, of course, spouses would be on either side. I want to know what happens at Julie's family reunions when politics is on the table. Now, Lisa was talking about dancing and singing. Yes. When we can, I mean, when? Jesus Christ. Until we have like an actual process to deal with this pandemic. I mean, it's just, they're talking about Orange County possibly like pausing the reopening and stuff now because the numbers are going bad. It's crazy, but like you look at New Zealand and they're like, filling up a stadium with fans to watch a sports game because they're fine because they got rid of the pandemic because they did testing and tracing and like a shutdown, but not as long as we did because they did it right. They did it for real. It is so doable. It is so doable to handle a pandemic like it's a pandemic. And, honestly, like, I know Biden's too scared, or maybe he doesn't even believe in it, but he's not running around saying, hey, in January, when I'm president, we're going to have a serious, 1-month shutdown everywhere and then test and trace universally and actually get rid of the pandemic. That's really what I think needs to happen because that's how you get rid of a pandemic. But he's just talking about taking it more seriously and using more resources and, having enough PPE and all, and that's all great. I'm sure under Biden and Kamala, more governors will be empowered or be pressured to do the right thing. And, maybe we'll have more coherency on a national level to take things seriously and get rid of the pandemic. But if that doesn't happen, we're looking at, another year or two or who knows of this, unless it just evaporates. Like some pandemics have just, some viruses have just kind of gone poof. Who knows? Maybe the aliens come down and they're like, all right, here's the ray gun, the ray gun of cure. Yes, says Julie. Yes, it gets pretty heated. Yeah, interesting. Okay, how about a poll? If you're present for a political debate, argument, whether or not it's your friends and family or just people you happen to be, acquaintances or strangers, but you're involved, political argument begins. Are you chomping at the bit to get involved? Or are you like, fuck that shit. I'm not even gonna try. Because, I understand the whole okay, if someone is a Trumper, there's basically no reasoning with them. They're really, pretty much. There's not a lot of middle ground. Like if you're still drinking that Kool-Aid, you're drinking it for your own personal fucked up reasons. But it's kind of fun sometimes to be a little exhilarated and slap someone with some truth, or even just try and have a sincere exchange and try and educate them, which probably won't work, but it's worth trying. Maybe not, probably not with their Trumper, but it can be kind of exciting to do so. So I want to know when you guys are present for a political discussion, not just necessarily you and one other person, but you're in a group. Not that during COVID there's that many groups hanging out, But when it first starts, are you sort of like, political discussion? Or are you like, fuck, politics? I personally am sort of, my knee-jerk reaction is like, political discussion. Unless it begins with some, total trashy Trumpy propaganda, then I'm like, but, part of me is kind of political animal, like, see what happens here. But I'm also totally okay with saying, forget it, not worth my time. I observe and see if whoever is talking, says Julie, seems intelligent enough to talk to. That's a really good plan. For instance, when we met the weird Trumper lady while walking the dog the other day, I was not interested. Good call. Yeah, why create enemies in the neighborhood, right? Although yeah. Most of my siblings have given up on arguing a lot regarding politics. That's fine. Wasting my breath on her after a few minutes of talking. Yeah. I like it as long as it remains respectful and doesn't get personal. Yeah, good. Good. Very good. Lisa, you still with us? Lisa? Are you there? Lisa, if you're still with us, type hello. I think Lisa might have logged off or maybe fallen off. Our crowd thing has gone down. But anyway, here we are, 8 days. Oh, my friend Sarah Oliva's calling. I'm going to put her on speaker. Well, hello. I have you on speaker. Are you calling in for the broadcast?
No, I was calling to check on you, dude.
Oh, no, we're good. I'm in the middle of my broadcast. I thought you wanted to call and talk about something.
Yeah, actually do. And let's talk about something right here.
Excellent.
I'm really upset that the Democrats passed this stupid shit where I can't have independent contractors as my employees, and nobody wants to be an employee anymore as massage therapists because I can pay them better as independent contractors, and they can write off their gas, their mileage, their laundry, their whatever they want to write off.
So Sarah's talking about AB 5, right? Sarah, the California law that was
AB 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, so basically, as a massage therapist or an esthetician, you have to either rent a room, which often if they don't have enough clients, they can't rent a room. And as employees, you have a certain limit that you can pay them, and you can't pay them as much because you got to pay all these taxes on, and you got to pay workers' comp, and you got to pay all this other stuff.
Yeah. So AB 5 was aimed kind of primarily, I think originally was aimed at Lyft and Uber and whatnot. But what they did was pass something that really screwed up like a lot of industries that are independent contractors. So then they amended it. And I don't know, Sarah, if the amendments have helped that at all, or if it is still completely unresolved in terms of your concern. Supposedly they were making some changes to it. And now Prop 22 is a really messed up way for Lyft and Uber and DoorDash to try and get around California regulating them. So I'm extremely anti-22, Prop 22. But AB 5 is still...
I'm sure to vote no on 22 then.
Yeah, but AB 5 is still in the book. So do you know, Sarah, if the amendments that they have made or are making to it solve this problem, or if it's still a part of it?
As far as I know, it has not changed according to the cosmetology and the Board of Barbering, because I follow their posts, and it's still a serious problem, and it's even more of a problem now because people don't want to be employees, and because they don't get paid as much at all, and they can't write off all their stuff, and they don't want to be renting a room out. They don't have the money for it. So Sarah, it's really affecting the people starting back up to work, including myself.
So Sarah,
I don't want to believe someone's employee. So
Sarah is a massage therapist and esthetician, and she's had her own spa and had people working for her. Super valid.
I've lost it all. So even for myself, as starting over, I don't want to go work as an employee and get $16 an hour.
Yeah.
Because as an independent contractor, I can get $40 an hour.
Right.
45.
Yeah, completely valid concerns. Completely valid. I would like to see. I mean, there's so many people affected negatively by AB 5, and I don't know what changes they've made and who's maybe less affected or how. But this is clearly something that needs to be further addressed. I mean, it was affecting, maybe still is, maybe outside of the pandemic, musicians, artists, gig workers of all kinds. They should have written a law that was just about, Lyft and Uber, or rideshare services, not targeting all independent contractors with one broad brush, but they did. I would love to see more action on this. I'd love to see people putting a proposition on the ballot for that, or circulating petitions, contacting their representatives. I think that's maybe the first thing that we could do is, Sarah, if you reach out to your local representative, your state senator or state house person.
I did originally when it was going through, but it's like there's so much going on. I barely have time for anything. Like right now, I'm trying to get lists of different groups of people that may want massages, or facials, so I can start getting prepared for marketing or to do something.
Yeah.
But it's not easy for someone to just go and rent their own space, especially right now in the economy and having a deposit and having a month to month. You don't even know if you're going to have customers.
Yeah, no, it's very, very tough. I can only imagine.
As an employee, I can't live off $16 an hour. I can't.
No, no. I mean, that's minimum wage. Minimum wage is what, 15, and that's like, try living in Orange County or the Bay Area for $15 an hour. It's like impossible. Yeah, I don't know if anyone has anything to type in the chat box, that any brilliant ideas. My only idea is to try and converse with representatives and tell them what you need and what you expect, and ask them what they're going to do about it. Because this is, I mean, there are organizations, I guess, out there, that maybe, I don't know if there's organizations for massage therapists.
Yeah, there is. And the thing is, we're seeing the California Massage Therapy Council, the Board of Cosmetology and Barbering. We pay these people; they represent us, but they're not doing anything to fight for us, and we're expected to still pay them.
Right. So this is all pretty recent stuff. So I would find out whether or not they are doing anything to fight for you, and whether or not they are or aren't, I would still reach out to like representatives.
Well, I got a letter from the board of. I got an email back from Beverly, the head of the California Massage Therapy Council, and she said that basically that's not their job, and that's not why. Like, they're here to keep us licensed.
Yeah.
To make sure that we're licensed. Like, it's not within their scope to fight for this kind of stuff for us. And I'm like, well, it should be,
No, I totally agree. If they're taking your money, they should take an interest in protecting you. Well, I'm glad you reached out. I would definitely do that with any other organizations that you're party to. But whether or not they care enough or are able to organize, I would say try and get everyone that in your field to also reach out to the representatives in California, because this is a state thing, not a federal thing. So you have to voice your demands to the people that are making the decisions in California, which is your state senate, state house.
We have petitions started. We have a couple of ladies that are actually representatives for us that go there and go to all the meetings and everything. But
good.
It just seems like it falls on deaf ears. There's honestly no change so far. Right now, we need to reach up to the economy. Right now, we need to find a way to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the wheels of government turn slowly in Sacramento and DC, but some things get, some things do get done though within a year. Like propositions can pass. Things can get done when there's a lot of attention paid to specific issues. So I'm glad you're doing that. I'm glad that there's some people organizing and communicating. And I would also reach out individually. Like just send an email. Find out who your state and representatives are, and just send them a message or call them and, pass on a message.
I send emails. Yeah, I just send emails. That way I can have copies of it.
Yeah.
Like there was there's a couple of people depending on what area you live in. I think ours is east.
And you're being an active citizen, and ask everyone in your line of work to do the same thing. Say, hey, make the phone call or send the email. It'll take you a few minutes and get the conversation going.
Yeah, I feel like I want to be first sitting there waiting for just one person. do it, and it takes all of us to do it.
It really does. Yeah, it really does.
Well, I'm glad you guys are okay. We were going to say if you need anything to say, you guys go to Michael's house to be able to hear.
Thank you so much. Yeah, the fire is probably 15, 20-minute drive from us. The smoke is, and before it was dark, the smoke still wasn't heading our way. It was going out towards Laguna. It may have swamped us by now. I don't know. There's so much smoke in the sky. We're probably going to be covered with smoke and ash, sooner or later. But our neighborhood is I guess the nearest suggested evacuations are about 10 minutes away from here. And I don't imagine we'll have to deal with anything too seriously related to this other than air quality.
I shared a link to the map.
Okay.
Map.
So I'll keep the firemen in your prayers because 2 of them from Aliso Diego were injured today.
Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know what the circumstances were, but I heard there were 2 firefighters tragically injured. I hope they make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. How are you having your show? Is it on Facebook or where is it?
Yeah, you're audible right now. It's a YouTube live stream.
Okay, cool. Fantastic. We'll log on.
All right. I'll be ending it pretty soon here, but thanks for calling in.
Thanks. Bye, Alex.
Bye, Sarah. All right. Well, we're almost at an hour and a half here. If anyone else wants to talk about anything, I'm sure the people that I know are here. It doesn't show me everyone. It doesn't show me who's here. If people don't type, then I don't know that they're here. And if people aren't able to type, then there's no way for me to know who they are. But I appreciate you guys being here. So I'm pretty sure we have Julie and Sarah still here. I think Lisa may have split. But thank you. Thanks for tuning in. If there's anything else that you would like to chat about, let me know. If not, I will wrap things up. Are you up to something, Sarah? I thought you were up to something. Oh, she's snacking. All right. Well, if I do one of these next Monday, it will be the day before voting day, which will be an exciting time. One of my main curiosities is how much intel we're going to have on voting night. I mean, I'm sure a lot of us will be staying up late. But some states are counting votes. Some are waiting till election day. I'm so curious if we're going to have any really defining information by 2 a.m. or whatever on next Tuesday. Or if it's going to be like, okay, we're glued to our television sets for like 5 days. It's going to be interesting. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. This is a pretty political night again, but it doesn't have to be. I very much enjoy the interaction. Thank you for typing, and thanks Sarah for calling in, and thanks Sarah for walking in and showing Halloween toys. Here's another one I've had for many years. I'm not sure what it does. I have to put a battery in it. I think it shakes or something. But I won't do another one of these before Halloween. So happy Halloween, everyone. Have a wonderful time doing something creative. I don't know if you're just painting your face and taking selfies, or hanging out with people you live with or people in your bubble. Or I'll try and organize like an online Halloween party sort of thing. Maybe I'll see you there. But anyway, much love and health to you. And thanks for tuning in. I'll probably do another one of these next Monday if I don't have any conflicts, which I probably won't because it's 2020. So you're welcome, Julie. Thank you so much for participating. And see you all next time. Ciao. Happy Halloween.